Good day everyone, today I'll be demonstrating a usability study we conducted on a web app called Pebblar.com. Alright, let's give you a bit of insight on what Pebblar is. Pebblar is a map-based itinerary maker which is based on the real-life trip planning process. Pebblar lets users create, visualize, and track their journey on a single, simple map view. And the best feature is that you can do real-time collaboration with your friends on the very same itinerary. Now, doesn't that sound interesting and full of exciting features? We thought so too, and here is our analysis on its interfaces and features. Now, let's dive right into the usability study. Firstly, we came up with some objectives that we wanted to accomplish while testing out the website. The major objectives were efficiency, utility, learnability, and memorability of the website. Moving on to the testing phase, we invited 35 participants for our study, and we used Optimal Workshop, Loop 11, and Google Forms as our tools for collecting the data. So firstly, for our Optimal Workshop, we used the Chalkmark tool to test the website's UI structure, and we used Loop 11 to check the integration of the features and core functionality, and lastly, we used the Google Forms to collect the participants' data. And yes, all the participants consented and their names were anonymized while summarizing the data. In Optimal Workshop, we tested efficiency and learnability of the website. The tasks provided to the participants were to analyze where they would normally click first. The tasks ranged from using navigation bar to color coding labels for a city. I'll later discuss the findings from this tool. Next up, on Loop 11, only 6 participants participated, yet they left us some valuable feedback. The tasks in this tool were complex and were incorporated to analyze the learnability, utility, and memorability. We also used Google Forms to get data from the participants and used Google Sheets to summarize that data into a tabular form. Also, we sent the links to these tests to the participants in an email. Now, let's talk about the obvious question, which is, what did we find? So, in our findings, we noted that users like Pebblar's unique feature and praise the site for its utility. To attest to that, the graph below shows that participants had never used a website similar to this before. Additionally, we discovered that Pebblar can change how people plan their journeys in the future. One participant admired the potential and used words like elegant and minimalistic for Pebblar. However, while analyzing the heat map and path analysis, we found that participants had some roadblocks while completing tasks. The reason for that was poorly integrated features and functionality. One such example is when participants couldn't find the share button when it was clearly evidently at the top of the page. And on top of that, participants found the overall experience lacking proper navigation. One user commented on this in their feedback, saying the site tabs should be concise and should not fill a proportion of the screen. And lastly, from our comprehension of all the user interaction, it was evident that Pebblar has a decent learning curve to it, which if a user can get past, they can easily memorize it. However, these traits are compensating for the inefficient use of the features. With all the research we did on findings and results, our team came up with several recommendations. For a better understanding, we have categorized them into design, information and feedback, and interaction. All the recommendations are supported by relevant literature and follows SMART framework, which is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-based. Now, our design recommendations are first to refine the icon library, maybe use universal icons, and provide relevant labels along with those icons. Next is either switch in the color of the location button or maybe try redesigning it. That will make it a bit more obvious. Now, in the information and feedback section, we suggest providing some alert message when an error occurs or giving like a small pop-up when a task has been completed. Furthermore, adding tips to the icons at hover can provide to be a great help, especially for any new users. Also, easier access to a help/guide page would be very useful. For interactions, when a user logs in, a prompt for a video tutorial can be really helpful. And it's not for the new users, for all the users. And bring the feature of color coding location to a more noticeable place. And when user clicks on it, present them with a quick color picker. This can save user time and make their itineraries more creative. That's all for the presentation. On behalf of my whole team, thank you so much for watching this video.